Hello, I'm excited to be with you today and really looking forward to introducing you to a friend and a colleague and someone who is familiar with my nutrition and cleansing work, has been familiar with that for many, many years now, and is someone who is bringing a really important piece of work to this larger conversation around nutrition and healthy eating and how it is that we move forward in our lives in a healthy way with our relationship with food. So Eli is going to be offering a talk and somatic experience during the cleanse around unshaming our cravings. And this is really powerful work that works with a mind-body connection and helps us understand in so many deeper ways what's really going on with our relationship with food. So Eli, I'd love to just have you maybe share for a couple minutes about the work you do and why you're excited and inspired about it, and what you're going to be offering our cleansers on the upcoming cleanse.
Wonderful. Thanks, Ellen. I'm so excited to be here. And yeah, I am an unshaming somatic practitioner, somatic therapist, and I also just in the past year or so have gotten really into and learned a lot about somatic nutrition. And it's really informed my journey. I have lived with chronic illness for most of my adult life, and I've found again and again that food has been kind of the most beneficial focus for me in terms of my healing journey. Um, but also kind of noticed again and again, kind of falling back into some old habits around food. And so the big shift that I've been able to witness in myself and with my clients, having learned a lot more about somatic nutrition this past year, is that when we go into the body, there's so much information that we can access around kind of what's propelling us into these food choices. And our bodies hold an intelligence, a wisdom, all of these sides of ourselves that get hidden or buried under these layers of what we call in my work shame. But they're actually quite powerful, intelligent, wise, joyful, beautiful sides of ourselves. And they, when we access, we have this idea of that we're maybe comfort eating or emotional eating, but we often don't step back and say, well, what does that mean? What are we trying to comfort? What are the emotions? And what we find when we approach nutrition somatically is that there are needs often that aren't being met in our lives that we're trying to fulfill through food choices. And our body says, I can help you, in the subconscious, we access these subconscious parts of ourselves and kind of, almost mindlessly then go toward food as the way to approach these needs.
Mm.
So I'm going to be doing this exercise that I absolutely love called Unshaming Our Cravings, where we'll have an embodied experience that has the potential to allow us to connect to these subconscious sides of ourselves that will give us insight into what those needs might be, or what parts of ourselves have been shamed and are connected to the food we're eating, the food choices that we're making. What I find then is this allows for a much more sustainable shift, like I was mentioning, where you're not just kind of following a yes list and a no list and should and shouldn't do this all this thing, which sometimes can actually add to the shame that we're feeling, that we're doing good things or bad things. And instead we say, oh, I know where this is coming from. And I have choices now. I could choose the food. I could choose to do something else that helps me fulfill that need. I could do both. We have a much more informed approach and a personalized approach. We have gotten to know deeply ourselves, this side of ourselves, and unfolded the shame around it, so we're not walking around with that shame anymore around it, around the eating choices, and also around that aspect of ourselves. And so we're able to embrace this embodied intelligence and move forward feeling much more aware of why we do what we do, and like we're making much more intelligent and intentional choices in our lives and releasing some of that shame. And this can show up in all aspects of our lives, but I love it in terms of food because it already is a somatic experience, where we have that craving, and that is, it's something we feel in our bodies. And so to allow that to kind of fully be experienced to the point where we understand just fundamentally why it's showing up the way that it is, in a deeply unshaming way.
Wow,
I think it's absolutely
Eli.
beautiful, and I love it.
This is such powerful work, and I feel like I'm so grateful because I do feel, as you said, there was something about, I think, to use the word sustainable, and I think that that's one of the things that is, always concerning for people as they come to the end of the cleanse is, can I sustain this long term? And I think cravings are one of the things that, is that one of the challenges of why it makes it more difficult, or what do I do when the cravings come back? So I'm really excited. We've programmed it so that you're going to be in the third week of the cleanse. So when that question comes up, you'll have some answers for people, and that's amazing. So, yeah, really, really looking forward to this presentation. Thank you so much for the beautiful work that you do, and I'm just really excited for people to have this experience as part of their cleanse. So,
Thank you, Ellen. I'm really excited as well.
yeah, wonderful.
Yeah,
All right, well, I'll see you on the cleanse.
great.
Bye bye for now.
Bye.